If you want to make an EDM drop that sounds like Ninajirachi and Porter Robinson got together and made a collaboration, you've come to the right place, because I'm going to show you how to make a drop that sounds like... Like, wouldn't it be great if they made a collab? What do you mean? Tell me to watch a Ninajirachi's Coachella set. Guys, I made this last year. Production, roll the clip. Anyway, my dreams have come true, and in order to make this, first, set the BPM to 135. For the drums, a kick, but take a little off the top so it's not so clicky. Clap with a bunch of EQ cuts to make it punch through. Crash on the first hit. Only the first hit, because its fate is never to be heard from ever again. Offbeat 909 open hi-hat. Wait, not like offbeat as in like not on beat. It's not off the actual beat. It's just on the off beat. Music, everybody. Basically, the 8th note after every kick, put an open hi-hat. Now, if this still doesn't make sense to you, you can grab my sample pack, and this loop is literally a drag and drop. One big boom! And after the drums play through one time, add a shaker loop. And before all the drums come in, add a fake out as well. One kick, one snare. And altogether, that sounds like... For the chords, noisy supersaw. Or chaos saw, as I once called it. Layer it with a muted version. And a mono version. And also a square wave version, played after the first loop. Notice how the first 3 layers are all playing a little bit of a different rhythm, and the square wave isn't here. And this is played during the fake out. Listen to how the square layer adds a little bit of extra brightness so that when the drop does hit, it feels that much bigger. Without... Very subtle, but effective. Now, the trick to making these chords really thick is to learn about 7th and 9th chords and experiment with the inversions till it sounds good. Another thing you can do is try to find notes that are only a semitone apart and make sure they both play at the same time so you get that dissonant, bittersweet feeling that Porter Robinson is really good at. You can easily do this in Ableton by determining the key of your song, highlighting the scale, and seeing which highlighted notes are right beside each other. And don't just copy and paste everything. Be intentional with which layers have that dissonance. For example, in this one here, I make sure the layers that you hear the most have several dissonant, chromatically paired notes with each other. So this is our main saw layer, but our muted layer doesn't have all of them. Same thing with the square, I only have it on the top because I like the brightness that it adds, just so that it doesn't sound overwhelming. This takes a bit of experimentation, but when you get it, you get it. For the lead, a guitar sounding synth. And for the main lead, a noisy, whistly sine wave synth. Video game arpeggio. And finally, take a vocal with a lot of choppy elements. And chop it up even more. And add distortion. And more distortion. More! And now you don't have a vocal anymore, and that's why I put this in the synth section. All together. Big, crunchy, distorted saw bass that plays a cool rhythm as the first loop. but sustain it after that. Set up a sidechain compressor or volume ducker so that this bass doesn't play at the same time the kick plays, and you'll get that EDM pumping bass effect that ninajirachi is so good at. Layer in a Reese bass for extra thickness. And don't forget the sub bass. You can do the same sidechain compressor kick with the sub, but I find it's easier to literally just draw it in where the kick isn't playing. This is because the sub bass takes up so much room, and setting up a full volume ducking sidechain can sometimes cause more problems just due to the way sine waves work. So just draw it in. This way I can keep my kick loud, not have to EQ it so much, and have the sub bass hit the same volume, and everything else still sounds balanced. See, this is where the kick is, this is where the sub is, and I've also made sure that my kick sample only hits this length, 100 milliseconds, and at this BPM, the kick sample ends before this sub sample hits. Now, if a capital P producer starts coming at you, even if it does bleed into each other a little bit, you'll get that scrappy early EDM sound that encapsulates the 2012 era that Porter Robinson spawned in. So in a roundabout way, it's actually more accurate. But all in all, this is just a simple problem that requires simple solutions.
But Ring Mod, please pay attention to me because I'm so smart.
Sure, fine, do Ring Mod sidechain if you want, but don't need to brag about it. And altogether, this sounds like... Now, to tie everything together, include some ear candy. Record scratches, lasers, risers, little vocal chops. And all these sounds sit in the back, but play an important role of filling out the rest of the song so that your main ideas can shine. And just cause Ninajirachi just recently opened for OK Lou, let's pretend she made this for her. It's now an OK Lou remix. And if you made it this far, you're a legend. If there's any other artists you want me to break down, just comment below. But making these videos, from research, writing, producing the songs, not to mention the amount of editing, will sometimes take me 20 to 30 hours. Literally this song, I started it last year, so you could say this video took a whole year to make. So if you support what I'm doing, even just liking the video, subscribing to my channel, helps my content reach more people and lets me keep doing this. If you want to support me further, check out my Patreon. Even just the $2 tier helps me out way more than you realize. Plus, you'll find project files for most songs you've heard on this channel and start to finish versions of the songs that I do here. And now, before I play the final result, just one more thing to add. But before we get to the final result, I want to take a minute to talk about this video's sponsor. And just like you spent time on sound design, you should also invest time on getting as many people as possible to hear all the work you put into that bleep bloop. And with DistroKid and all its promo tools, it's easy to make your next release catch all the attention of your future fans. Show them what your music is all about with DistroKid's promo cards. These are pre-made images using your album art that are perfectly formatted for posting on all social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and more. Surely this costs a lot, right? Nope, it's all included with your DistroKid subscription, which is $23 a year. You also get unlimited uploads and keep 100% of your royalties. But on top of that, if you're watching this, you can get 7% off your first year using my VIP link, which is just down below. So go sign up, make your releases look as good as they sound, and as always, thank you to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. Now, all together from the build-up, this sounds like...